My grandma is the strongest woman I know. She was born after World War II and grew up in a town named Kutaisi, which is the second largest city in Georgia. My grandma is my biggest role model, and she's the one I turn to, whether it's for some good advice or just a good laugh. Her inspiring journey to America will never fail to remind me of all I have to be grateful for.
We had simple childhood, which means we were happy to have food on the table and what to eat. It was very warm, loving. People really cared for each other. And neighbors were like your own family, and even people you didn't know. And if you needed something on the street, they were always there to help. And everything was like loving you, hugging you, and making you feel comfortable and protected. That's how I felt as a child. When we left Russia, Georgia, when I was 26 years old, it was like a movement that Jewish people started moving to Israel. My husband's, your grandfather's family left. We all followed each other. Now, at that time I was very upset because that's where my childhood and my years of college and my friends and my life was spent. And I was upset. I didn't know where was I going and what was ahead of me. So, but now when I look back, we made the right decision because of what's going on in the world. I feel that we're in the safest place to be.
After leaving Georgia, my grandma went to Poland, a refugee camp in Austria, and then Israel.
They were assigning where would we be living. And because we all, meaning me, my husband, my brother and his wife, we were high educated people, they were giving us place where we could live and study. Of course it was difficult because we didn't know any language system, everything was different. But we were getting good help from special organizations who took the responsibility of accepting people from Russia. And we were just about to start new phase in our life, to start living in Israel, to look for a job, and then war broke out. 1973, Yom Kippur War. I never experienced war lifestyle as a person, so my husband and my brother's family neither. It was scary experience to feel that Israel was surrounded with enemies. They were in constant wars, constant. So then we decided to leave.
From Israel, my grandma traveled to Munich, Germany, and then to Italy.
You can see there were a lot of adjustments in the places. No language, no system, everything was different. We had to travel to school to Rome to learn English. Different people wanted to go different destinations. We chose the United States, and we got lucked out that they did give us the United States and New York. And after 4 months of living in Italy, we flew to New York. But it involved not daily, it involved hourly challenges. Everything was new, you know. And some people looked at us as newcomers. I remember when we came to New York, they actually gave us hotel in New Jersey. I remember we had a stove in a hotel, and one time one of the representatives of people that was helping immigrants came to my room, and I was cooking for Greg and Aaron. They were little boys. I was cooking something, and she said, "Oh, you know how to use the stove?" They looked at us that we were coming from We didn't know nothing from civilization, but we did have all of this, especially in Georgia. So there was a little bit, not humiliating, but they looked at us like immigrants, you know. We moved to Washington Heights, Bennett Avenue, 44 Bennett Avenue. A president of Jewish community lived on the first floor in the same building, and we were living on the second floor. And she asked me a couple of times to help her to clean the house, which I did. And then I started school, and she was very unhappy that I could no longer clean her house. So I went to study language, then I went to Touro College for accounting, and then I found job where I worked for 2 years. When Tamara was a year old, I took vacation from this job, and I said, let me see what I can do with myself. And while I was on vacation, I found this job where I'm still with for 45 years, Jacques Moret. It was part of witnessing their growing up, and 4 people turned into 300 plus people company. What I've learned in my life that we should not stress over the things that we have no control of, because it's not getting us nowhere. Nothing is changing. We just have to believe. I believe in God, and I always ask God to help us, and appreciate everything. You wake up, you have food, you have roof over your head, you're healthy, you move, you enjoy things. So be grateful and thank God for that.